Okay. All very quiet now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come and say hello when you're joining in. Who have we got? If you can hear a little snoring in the background, it's not Emma already, it's Coco. Barbara, nice for you to join us. Oh, those shallots are strong. I'm gonna start with the bread and butter pudding because I haven't made anything yet towards it. Hi, Karen. Made nothing towards it yet because I think I can just about get it done in the meantime. So I'm going to make a sweet version of the cheese mite loaf. I'm going to make a chocolate version of the loaf. Oh, it's a bit jittery today. It's a little bit weird. It's very jittery. No, I'm on the right Wi-Fi. I'm not sure how it looks to you, but it's skipping a little bit on my screen. So anyway, hopefully it's okay. Yeah, we're going to start with the bread and butter pudding. I did a version of this loaf for the event we went to a couple of weeks ago, a mixed spice version, which went down quite nicely. So I'm just going to replicate that, but it'll be chocolate orange. That's what I'm going to do with the bread and butter pudding. It's going to be a chocolate orange one. So as I said, I'm going to use the face to the cheese mite. God, it really is bad. Are you on the right Wi-Fi? Because was it right? Okay. Let me know if it's stuttery for you, because it's really stuttery for me here. But we're working off two different laptops, so I don't know whether you're seeing what I'm seeing or you're not.
I think I've seen tell you if there's a problem.
Yeah, should be. Right, hello, Sue. Anyway, so cheese mite. I am going to. Hello, Heidi. I'm going to halve the recipe. So I'm using the cheese mite. Oh, okay, right, brilliant. Thank you for letting me know. But I'm going to halve the recipe. So I'm going to make a small loaf. So in here, I've got 50. And this is the first time actually. Hi, Jack. Brilliant. This is the first time I've used butter in this recipe rather than oil. So the cheese mite loaf recipe is eggs, yogurt, and oil. I'm going to use eggs, yogurt, and butter for this one. And I've cut it in half because the original recipe is 4 eggs, so I can do 2. Split an egg in the case, so I couldn't get it out. Hi, Kathy. Wrong one. Right, so as long as I remember to halve everything else, I'll be okay. Hi, Esther. So hopefully we should get through this session without any puppies being born. But she is definitely she's right here by the side of me. There's nothing hiding. Who's that? Nothing hiding. I was just drying the towels out. Yeah, we'll probably just about get through, but she's definitely close to giving birth. Right, 2 eggs, 50 grams of butter, and I've got some yogurt now. Right, what am I making? I'm going to be making, so this first is chocolate bread and butter pudding. So I'm doing the chocolate loaf to go in it first. Chocolate orange, actually. Chocolate orange. So it's the first part of that. let me just get the ingredients in so I don't get it wrong. So 145 divided by 2, 70 something. 70 something will do. There we go. 70 something. I think by halving it, we're going to be able to get the loaf into one of these small tins, and it'll also mean it'll cook a little bit quicker as well, because it's normally an hour bake, but we've got the hour to let it bake, and then I'll sling it in the fridge, try and get it to cool down so I can slice it, and we can at least make the bread and butter pudding. We won't see it baked, we won't see that bit finished, we will later. And then into that, I'm not going to add the extra water or the Marmite. So I'm not adding the Marmite or the water, but or the Parmesan cheese. But what I am adding is 40 grams of Panda, and then some cocoa powder. Is Archie the daddy? Yes. Not that he has any idea. He has no clue whatsoever. He's very confused by what's going on right now. Yes. Okay, 40 grams. Grams of Panda. Cocoa powder. I'm reckoning on about 10. We'll see if it needs any more once it's mixed in. I'll be able to check to see whether, because this is quite a loose mix normally. I am. And then, because it's just a sweet loaf. Oh yeah, need sweetener. I did get it out. There it is. Half a loaf. I'm going to go 20 grams of sweetener, no more than that. There you go. And then a little bit of baking powder. Sorry, bicarbs. Just 5 grams of bicarbs. There we go. Okay. So it should still be quite a loose mix. However, the cocoa powder is going to thicken it more than the average cheese might loaf. So it might take that little bit of water. We'll see. It looks okay. It's a fraction thicker. It is more like a batter. I suppose white Panda is a batter, isn't it? It is a batter. Yeah. So I'll see. It looks like a cake batter. And it is an in-betweeny. Just get a scraper. Yeah, so everything's a little bit disjointed here at the moment. We're sort of constantly looking at the cocoa, making sure she's okay. She's been a bit, maybe a bit uncomfortable this morning, a little bit disjointed. No, you won't. Yeah. He's just had something to eat. He's just crashed out alongside me here. But they've definitely dropped in the last couple of days. We think we can see the babies moving around as well. That's ideal size. I didn't want to do a full-sized loaf, so then I have to make a full-sized bread and butter pudding because we've got loads of other stuff going on at the moment. So, but mince pies and stollen this week. Right, there we go. So that's going to go in. I'm going to stick it in for sunflower seeds. I'm going to stick it in for I'd say 40 minutes. I'm going to put the orange in with the custard, so it can be orange oil. So it'll be an orange custard. Yeah, rather than vanilla, it'll be an orange custard. You could put orange essence in there as well if you want, orange extract. But the idea is I'm going to make a custard with the orange essence.
I think Jack's quite happy to chocolate.
Yeah, no. So it is normally 180/60. So I'll go 180/40. It's not really going to be a problem if, hi Christine, it's not going to be a massive problem if it's a little bit overdone, dried out, because normally you'd have used a dried out loaf to make the bread and butter pudding with. So we'll see. I just want it cooked at 40, and then at least we can slice it. I can dehydrate it a little bit. Okay, so that's that one done. Okay, we'll come back to hi Bridget. We'll come back to the custard in 2 hours. Right, okay. I'll make the pumpkin pasta next so we can let that rest. Sunflower seeds for the pesto that I'm making in a bit. So rather than using pine nuts, I'm going to use sunflower seeds. They work just as well. I've just roasted them a little bit. It just softens up a little bit more. Right, okay. So pumpkin powder is going to go in with the flour. So this is actually, is this 4 eggs? It's 2 portions, isn't it? 4 egg. Yeah, that's right. Is what, sorry? Yeah. So that's what you did the other day. Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to get the recipe because as much as I've made this several times, I also get it wrong on a regular basis. Yeah. So 100 grams of Panda. You added 10 grams of pumpkin, yeah?
So 20 in total.
20 in total, right? Okay. 10 per person. Yeah. Okay, it's fine. So I think when we do the cannelloni with the lamb ragu, this will be more. It'll be more than I'll need, but we can use it for something else during the week. All right. So 100 grams. Yes, the egg pasta recipe, Jack. Exactly the egg pasta recipe. I'm just adding in 10 grams per portion of pumpkin powder, so 20 grams in total. You see that? Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why, Heidi, is because pine nuts are very expensive. But I've got a couple of packs in here. See that? Have we emptied them into a tub now? Yeah. I'll just do a look at the carb value. I've got a feeling they're slightly higher on carbs as well, pine nuts. So yeah, when we looked at alternatives, sunflower seeds are one of the best alternatives. Okay, 20 grams of pumpkin powder. Again, because it's quite absorbent, the pumpkin powder, we're going to use 4 eggs as normal. If it's a bit stiff, if it's a bit too dry, then we can always just add a touch of water to it just to help it roll out. Now, the egg pasta recipe includes 5 grams of xanthan gum. I keep saying that we could try it without because we're just rolling it and baking. We're not trying to submerge it. So I might try it here.
Are you boiling it today?
No, because it's cannelloni. So we're not going to pre-boil it. We're just going to roll them as raw pastas. So this will be the first time that I try it. Because the reason for the xanthan gum in the pasta is when you boil it, it stops the pasta from breaking up.
James got a question.
Afternoon. What went into the oven just now? It was the chocolate loaf for the bread and butter pudding. So I'm going to try it without the xanthan gum. I know not everybody actually likes xanthan gum. And it will be a way of making the pasta without it. What could go wrong was it doesn't have the same stretch, the same sort of pliability when you roll it out. Yeah, that could go wrong. 30 grams of oil. And some salt. Okay. Presume pumpkin puree. No, it's not. And I wouldn't use, you wouldn't be able to use puree in this. It's too much liquid, too much water. So it has to be powder. I mean, otherwise, things like spinach powder, beetroot powder, anything like that. But I wouldn't use puree. I mean, I can smell the pumpkin now. It's hydrated in here. You can smell the puree. Sorry, the pumpkin. Obviously, the xanthan gum has no difference here at this point. The xanthan gum sort of gives it a little bit more of a bind when you're trying to roll it out. But we are going to do it between sheets of parchment. I'm not trying to cut it into... okay, didn't know that. Yeah. I mean, there are alternatives to xanthan. There is... I'm going to be showing you one of those in a minute for... the gnocchi. So there are alternatives. It's just a gum. So if you can, if you don't get on with xanthan, it's a strong gum. So that's why you only use a small amount of it. But there are others that you can get hold of. Okay. As always, we're going to let that rest for a bit. That's come together. It's not too dry. I can sort of feel that's okay. Yeah. So we'll just give that a few minutes to come together. And we can roll that out. So one over there. No, arrowroot won't do the same. Because it's a gum, it needs to gives the pasta like a coating when you dunk it in water. So arrowroot won't do the same. Has to be something like the, which is what I'm going to show you, the cognac flour, the cognac flour. All right. I can't get the stool being used. So I've had this in the cupboard for a long time. I mean, let's not discuss the best before date. But it's a gum. So you know the skinny, are they called skinny noodles or slim rice? They're made out of this flour. They're purely made out of this flour. it's very difficult to use. We've made some of our own noodles at home using it, but you need 2 compounds. I can't remember which way around they went. Did we? I can't remember what happened. You had to have 2 chemicals to actually sort of get this thing to hold. Yeah. Did one of the powders went into this, didn't it? Into the mix, must have done. Yeah. So anyway, it's a bit of a faff, and the end result are pretty much like those packets of noodles and packets of rice. There's no real substance to them, so it works as an ingredient, but it doesn't work as a primary. So it's not. It's like, it's no different to Panda by itself doesn't work as a pasta. There you go. It doesn't work. It needs the egg. You can't just make pasta from Panda flour. It's got to have egg in it. It's a bit weird, this stuff. It's a bit weird, and still playing with it, really.
Say that's slim rice for people want.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I get it. It on a commercial basis, it must be fairly easy to handle, because it is quite stable when you mix it with the chemicals, the compounds. It is quite stable. At home, it's a bit faffy, and the end result is a little bit disappointing. So, for us, we made it once and went, well, we've done it. We probably won't do that again, because there are more interesting things to eat than that, because it's a zero value of anything. But anyway, right. I suppose, yeah, I'll do that one next. We've got sort of bits of stages going along. So I've already partly boiled the cauliflower. I'm only going to do a small portion of this. So we're going to do 200 grams worth of cauliflower in here. So pre-boiled, and it's been out. It's cool now. It's cold. It works better if it's cold, or at least cool, because you are going to have to handle it. So this is the gnocchi. This is still very much under sort of like, there's no final recipe here, but this will give you a good idea as a guide. Obviously, gnocchi is normally made out of potato. So there's 200 grams of cauliflower. I'm just going to blitz it to start with, because the rest of it's going to be done by hand with the flours, and it is a combination of Panda and the cognac flour. So 5 grams of salt. You do want this fairly dry. So that's why I've boiled it, and it's been sitting in the colander for the last hour or so. So it's cooled and drained. Excuse the noise, I didn't check the microphone. I am pulsing it to a mash. I mean, a very smooth paste. 90% of that is completely smooth. Obviously, now I've blitzed it. It's a lot more watery. So it's mushy. It looked quite dry when I put it in its whole florets. Let me just get rid of that. Always conscious of picking that blade up the wrong way. But you can sort of see it's wet. And you're not going to get it any drier than that, but you can't form that because it's so wet. So it's Panda and cognac to sort of bring that together. Now it's something like, and we'll play around with the measurements here and now, but it's something like 30 grams of Panda It may be as much as 40, but I'm going to go 30 grams of Panda and 10 grams of the cognac. The trick is here is to enough Panda to hold the mash together, so it gives it some sort of structure, and then the cognac is there to prevent it from breaking down when you boil it. So again, it puts a coating on the cauliflower, so it should firm up very much like if you've ever made mashed potatoes and then really dried, or really pressed it out, pressed the moisture out, and it almost becomes a dough. You can see that. Yeah, it's egg free. So we did try this with using a bit of egg yolk in it. Made no difference at all. Made none. I mean, we thought it might give it a better color, better texture. It actually, in my mind, it didn't do anything positive at all. I think I'd have picked up one of your hairs then. True, one of your hairs. Right, so that ratio was actually, it's fairly good. 30 Panda, 10 cognac. What's happened is it's firm, so it's a bit like Play-Doh, and it's got a slightly slippy external feel to it. That's the gum. So it's like glossy just on the outside. So yeah, that is quite a good consistency. And you can do this bit. Actually, I'll show you two ways of doing this bit. You can either make your gnocchi like individual little dumplings. They're potato dumplings. That's what they're classed as, potato dumplings. So you can either do them by hand, or here's a quick way of doing them, because you'd never find somebody doing that in a restaurant. 20 minutes making like one plate full of gnocchi.
That's like a mistake, aren't
Yeah. I might need to flour the board. I want to try it without, because I don't want to dry it out even more. It's not holding together. I'd need to put more flour on it to hold together. I managed to roll the last one out, but it was too tough then when I boiled it. There we go. Just a smaller amount. So you just get, you don't want them too big. You don't want them too. And again, gnocchi wasn't something that I would have had pre-keto. Never, I don't think it ever appealed to me. But it was a Pinterest recipe. It must have been. It must have been a Pinterest recipe.
I used to have it.
See you later, Sue. So this was a staple of yours, was it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Used to get back the dried ones from Aldi.
All right.
Shelf life about 3 years.
Hello, Kerry. Naughty step. What have you been doing? Have you heard the news that we're expecting the imminent arrival of half a dozen puppies, or potentially more? All right. So I'm gonna get a pan of water on, and we'll boil these. They're cooked. Clearly, they're cooked. You could just chuck these into a sauce. They would, absorb and finish off cooking within the sauce. But I'm going to show you them plain boiled. just so whatever recipe you would normally use, you can carry on with. Doesn't matter. So
No, register. You put it a little bit forward.
no, it's right back and forwards. There you go. Okay. No, the gnocchi recipe is brand new. So it's literally just 200 grams of cauliflower, 30 grams of Panda, and 10 grams of the cognac flour. I have tried it with xanthan. It's not as good. You need a lot more xanthan than I expected, and that then changes the feel to the mouth feel because it's a bit more slimy. Doesn't hold up as well. So I don't know what it is about what the difference is with cognac, but this is firm like a dumpling, like a well. So you can see that I'm not having problems, putting them together. So I'll let the water boil, and we'll cook them off. Whilst yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I'm not sure what Facebook has a problem. Well, let's face it, Facebook has a problem with everything and anything. But yes, I did think you'd be able to do this with swede. You could do this recipe, so the gnocchi, you'd be able to do it with swede, you'd be able to do it with celeriac. Just boil it, drain it, cool it, and let it dry out. Then blitz it. It will work with any of the root veggies.
That's a thought though, but because we tried this one first and it worked.
Yes.
We didn't bother
Yeah.
then trying
Yeah,
others.
that's right.
Yeah.
So it will work with the other alternatives. Yeah. Right. While we wait for the water to boil, I'm just going to put the rest of the veggies together for the lamb ragu, which is going to go in with the pasta in a minute.
Definitely got lemon seeds.
You're sorry?
Definitely got lemon seeds.
Definitely got what? Sorry?
Lemon seeds.
Fennel seeds. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of fennel seeds. Yeah. Yeah, I've not tried this celeriac, but there's absolutely nothing that would stop it from working. Just boil and blitz until you get a puree. That's it. So I've got about 100 grams of shallots. I've got one stalk of celery. I'm just going to use like half the carrot, just as a base to the lamb ragu. Oh, wow, right, boiling quicker. Right, apologies, I haven't got my hob today. I've left it at the bakery, so on the back. But I'll show you. That's boiling water. You can clearly see the steam. That's straight in. It will literally just take 2 or 3 minutes. Again, we're not really worrying about cooking. It's just reheating. Okay. It's about 50 grams of carrot. Yeah. It's weird how certain ingredients work better. So I've tried it with the xanthan. I tried it this morning. Okay, but really wasn't 100% impressed with it. This is different. This is similar sort of measurements as well that I used. And they just ever so slightly puffed up, ever so slightly. However, they're firm and they are potatoey. This is the thing with this. They are potatoey. So they're not soft and squidgy. That was what happened with the other lot. They went soft and squidgy. These have a mashed potato dumpling texture to them. So I would say, on the basis that's the third time I've done them, that's the best version of it. 200 grams of cauliflower. So you're looking at one big portion or two small portions. 200 grams of cauliflower. Oil. So this is cooked weight as well. Cooked weight, drained, cooled. 30 grams of Panda. 10 grams of cognac flour. Some salt. That actually tastes great. They're really good. You could just, I want to make some pesto to go with that in a bit. So that's perfect. Let me just get my puff up. Do you know what? I did think that, Kerry. I did think that. But even oil, pan frying them now, what happens to them then? I have no idea. If I get time, I will. Right, let's get this lamb ragu on, and then I can concentrate on the pesto. So a little bit of oil. Veggies are going in. Obviously got some lamb mince. I'll use it all because if there's a bit left on the side, it'll go for a snack. Okay, so my loaf has risen to just over the top of the tin. Quite nice. Still got 14 minutes left. So what was that? That was a 40-minute bake. Yeah, looks good for me. Right. Yeah, I didn't think she'd be there long. She's not a fan of lamb at all. Not a fan. All right, we'll let that just carry on browning off. See you later, Kerry. Catch you later. No time for mom. No time for mince pies today, Karen. Absolutely not. No chance. No chance. All right. So where should we get to? We might as well roll out the pasta. Does it feel all right? Yeah. They were fairly decent eggs in there size-wise, so you know they didn't feel as though it was too dry.
It was very different.
Yeah, mince pies will be a few weeks away yet. All right. So we're gonna. I'm gonna do it all between shoots and then cut them. We're gonna make some nice, neat pasta strips. So like your lasagna strips. So we're not gonna pre-cook these. We've made the cannelloni tubes. So we actually have the stainless steel tube that you can roll the pasta on. You roll the pasta around the tube, stick it in the dehydrator, and you can dehydrate the pasta. That's great. You got time to do that? Fantastic. You can probably make them in advance and store them in the cupboard. All I'm going to do today is make what essentially would be lasagna sheets. So that we're just going to roll those. Do you think of the products? I've never looked at buying it in on a commercial basis. I don't know. I'll have a look, but I'll be honest, I won't be able to compete with these guys price-wise. So whatever they're selling it at, you're really looking at the price that I would buy it at. All right, lamb, carrot, celery, shallots in there frying in a little bit of oil. We're going to throw some passata at it and fennel seeds. Obviously, there's a fair amount of fat come from the lamb now as well. Yeah, it's out of the orange. Fennel is, I suppose, an unusual herb. You're either going to love it or hate it because it's one of those aniseed herbs. It works perfectly with lamb. It's beautiful with lamb. So if you enjoy aniseed, get it in there. Right, questions. Do we get a sneak peek, members? Maybe on Thursday. I don't know yet. Maybe. What brand is the one you're using? This is from Bulk Powders, the cognac flour. Again, I've had it in the cupboard for years, so it'll be interesting to see if they're still doing it and what they're selling it for. Okay, I'm just going to let the lamb ragu sit and bubble away gently behind. Roll this out. Hi, Carol. You've just missed the frantic beginning that normally occurs. So there's a chocolate loaf in the oven. Fennel, Heidi, fennel. There's a chocolate loaf in the oven, which is going to be for the bread and butter pudding. I've made the cauliflower gnocchi, but I'm going to come back to that with the pesto. So I've made that, and it's sitting in a pan back there. And I am currently rolling out the pumpkin pasta to make the lamb ragu or the lamb cannelloni. Good thing about using these sheets and the fact what I'm going to be making today is that it doesn't matter that it sort of spread itself out into a random size. I'm going to cut little squares, and then because I'm not using any flour, all the odds and ends can go back together and they'll roll out perfectly. Now here's a little trick. We did this on Friday, so you may know that I'm hosting the masterclasses. I'm also hosting one-to-ones. So somebody came along to the bakery to spend the entire day with me and make an awful lot of food. So if you cut your shape, because the idea with the pasta is to actually get it quite thin, because it will absorb water, regardless of whether you're going to boil it or whether you're going to bake it in a sauce. It will absorb, so it will fluff out a little bit. So I've now cut that down to a nice, it's not even a 3x2 rectangle, but it will now roll out thinner because it hasn't got that excess around it. Difficult to get it to the right thickness when there's so much of it on the paper. And you can make it so you can literally almost see through it. Actually managed to tear the paper underneath there somehow. I've managed to do that. Yeah, cut the paper. Idiot. Mind you, that's because I sharpened the knives. That's okay. That's okay. There you go. I'll get rid of that one. Managed to cut through the paper. I'm completely frozen.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry. Completely frozen. I'm frozen on my end. Don't worry. I think we're back.
You're just bleeping out that you cut the paper.
Yeah, did it cut out the bit where I got that wrong? Okay. Right. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, thought so. My screen went blank. They thought I wasn't doing anything. But cut the feed. Okay, 4 minutes on the loaf. Just before we started, it absolutely hammered it down, and now beautiful blue skies out there. Okay. So I'll use the not sharp knife to trim it. Okay. Yeah. That's better. Perfect. So again, I'm turning these into little cannelloni tubes. We're going to fill them and roll them. Now you are going to have to bear with me because I've got about 8 of these to do. While we wait for that to finish. And this is dinner, so welcome to dinner prep. So as a notice for the next 2 weeks, we might not be here next week on the basis that we don't know where we're going to be with Coco at the time. We may have half a dozen, up to a dozen puppies in the house. Not going to be the ideal setting for trying to do one of these sessions. So I'll sort of keep you informed during the week. We'll see what we can do. We're definitely not here the following week because that is one of the workshops. So the first Sunday of November is another sort of day one version. So come along if you want to have a full day of playing with Panda, making breads, making cakes, we made pasta. Pastry, all those sorts of things. So we've got plenty of spaces left for that day one. And then we're back for 1 week, which I think is now the 10th of November. So should be back to normal by then. Although I will have the ability to host it down at the bakery by that point. Got broadband fitted down there next week, a week after. And then we'll be missing for 2 weeks because it'll be the Christmas workshop, which there are only a few spaces left on. So if you do want to come along and essentially make your Christmas prep with me, so I'll be able to show you firsthand the mince pies, the stollen, the Christmas cake, and a fair few others. There's about 20 recipes that we're working on at the moment. So if you want to come and do some Christmas baking with me, which you obviously take home, you can stick it in the freezer, ready for Christmas Day, and do that. You are sorry? No wearing Christmas jumpers. Although it will be cold down there. So.
Pajamas will be fine.
No. It will be cold in the bakery until we get the ovens on. Right. Right. Mini chocolate loaf. No, beautiful. 2 eggs. 2 egg mix. This is the white panda, or the cheese mite recipe from the book, which I've turned into a sweet loaf. There's your mini chocolate loaf. Okay. So I'm going to let that cool. In fact, I'm going to get that straight in the freezer. So I want that to cool quickly. So I can slice it. Okay. All right. Nice.
No, it's not changed.
Have I changed the? No.
No, it's at Wollaston.
No. It's everything's being held at Wollaston. I can't move the bakery to another venue.
No.
So I forgot that again. So I've got this will be the 4th sheet out of half the dough. So yeah, it should give you about 8 sheets really. So if you can use the clam presses, the tortilla presses to get you started. There you go. Go that way. So the pumpkin, adding the pumpkin to this has probably added, what's it work out as? 40 calories per 100. So it's added 8 grams of carbs to the total mix. So it's added 4 grams per person. Yeah. So it's gone from 5 to 9. So that's when you sort of like adding ingredients. How much is the Christmas workshop? All the workshops are the same price. So the workshops include everything that you're going to use on the day, as in all food, all the ingredients. You don't bring anything with you, just the tubs. So every workshop is £95 for the day. Okay. And as the guys that joined me a few weeks ago for the first one, you get your own Panda pantry apron to take home with you as well. As long as perfect, thank you. As well as all of your goodies. Hand lunch. we didn't stop for lunch essentially on that session. Didn't really have time. But we had lunch. It was a running lunch.
Actually, I'll rephrase. They had lunch.
Yeah, they had lunch. Yeah. They had lunch. We didn't eat because we didn't have time to make anything. Yeah. Hello, Sarah. Yes, hand lunch. Alan won't mind me saying it was so. Sarah, from the day one, Alan, who was on your right, he came back for a one-to-one a couple of days ago. We spent the entire day in the kitchen, and he sort of said, having you next to him. So, for those that were there, Alan is 6'2" and a very dry northerner, and Sarah next to him, basically telling him off, but not rolling his paper right. He's like, all right, yeah, okay. You're not rolling it right. Turn your paper. He said, all I remember is being told off for not turning my paper while I roll the pastry. However, he said he loved it. All right, we're getting there. I'm going to let the lamb's essentially done behind me. So I'll just quickly show you because I'm going to turn it off. So I've just allowed it to just cook down. So it's a very rich thick tomato sauce. Obviously, all of the fat from the lamb has sort of been absorbed into that. It's sort of sitting on top of the tomatoes, actually. I'll end that. Those details are on the website, Heidi. So go and have a look because it's sort of a bit more intense and a bit more involved. They're on the same listing for the event, for the workshops. They are available essentially. I think there's 2 or 3 days every week that I've made available for the one-to-ones. They are a long day. I do intend to, as we did with Alan, get as much into that day as possible. And you are able to specify what type of things you want to make. It's not me dictating your day. You can request to learn certain skills. Yes. Yeah, sorry. Is the grease-proof pre-cut? Yes, it is. We cut it at the bakery. Ella keeps saying to me, "Can we not put that on the website? Can we not put that on the website?" Because, and we can. I mean, I'll ask her to do it. They're about A4 size. I think they're just a little bit more. Here we go. Here we go. Dan's in the house. Get your best A-ups going. Yeah, they're about A4 size. And they do work perfectly for this.
Actually, about the pantry makes sense.
Yeah, and no, this is what Ella said. You know, this is why she wants to do the ingredients about the pantry. I will ask her this week to put them on the website. So we have a giant guillotine because they come in big sheets.
I find that therapeutic when I do that.
And we have to cut them. They get cut. I think that's a 4, isn't it? That'll be a 4. That'll be a quarter. I think I'll have to measure it. But yeah, no, I can do it. I just never thought anyone would want them, but clearly they are so handy when they're this size. I think the supermarket ones are just a little bit smaller, aren't they? And they're reusable. So all of this I can reuse for different, different jobs. You can bake on them. You can reuse them after you've baked on them. So as much as I've screwed that one up, it's a naughty habit. That can be rebaked on because it's siliconized on both sides.
I think I left it.
Yeah, you save everything. You literally save everything.
And then you said, you can't use that anymore.
Right. Freeze them raw. Not tried. Oh no, we have tried. No, we have tried. The freeze this raw. We have frozen it and it works fine. In sheets, lay flat. Freeze it like that, and then let it defrost properly. I would only use it for a baked item, i.e. making it into a lasagna, doing it as a cannelloni. I wouldn't try and boil it then. You're definitely going to have problems trying to freeze the dough. And then I'll save a little bit. So just to sort of, don't do it tonight, but I'll save a little bit. I'll stick some in the freezer, and then tomorrow I'll do something with it. So box of tomatoes, much smaller. Right. Yeah. See the round. I used to buy the round ones all the time until I realised I could buy myself the sheets and then cut them down. The round ones. Okay. It's scroll all the way down. It should say a more personalised. Just have a quick look on the website. Should be in the workshop. Scroll all the way down to the description. Should be a link there. Yeah, it took me nearly 2 years to realise that I could actually sort of make these myself by buying the commercial baking paper or parchment paper. It comes in huge sheets and it's in a big ream, about 1,000 sheets.
It's there, but the link's not working.
Is it not working? Right. Okay. I'll fix the link because I wasn't aware it wasn't working. Okay. Yeah. Just give me a.
Is it Calendly?
Yeah, you should go to Calendly. If you're not going to there.
It's just the text. The link's not a hyperlink.
Right. Okay. Okay. It was.
Right.
Okay. That's fine. I'll sort that out. Right. Okay. A couple more, and then we'll get. What should we do next? We'll do the pesto next. We're actually doing all right for time today. 3:05. We're all right. Everything's going to come together quite rapidly. I've got 2 more sheets of pasta to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can get away with 7 for our dinner, and we can freeze 1. How many? What these? This is a 2-portion recipe I'm doing. So the pasta is a 2-portion recipe.
How many sheets do you think that's going to make?
It'll make 8. It'll make 8 of these sheets. Essentially, that's what I'm rolling it out to be. I mean, yeah, before each. Yeah. But whenever we've done cannelloni previously, that's exactly what we've made. There'll be a bit of extra meat to go alongside it.
You think the 10 grams per portion works well?
Yeah, it's made it's not made the job any more difficult.
Do you think the pumpkins act to be the binder like the binder would have done more?
No. It's not as absorbent as the the other ingredients, and it's not got the gummy properties. Funny, that cognac flour literally has been sitting in my cupboard. Well, let's put it this way. Again, the best before date was 2020. So clearly I bought it at the beginning of keto for me.
Mine's the same brand in there also.
Yeah. And I've just not used it. I just never knew really how to use it. And I think like many people, we've tried those slim or skinny noodles and rice and just thought, no good. But actually, I've seen it used as an ingredient in a couple of things. I thought, okay, maybe it's got some value there. Because to me, using that has zero nutritional value has zero benefit. But using it as an ingredient to help you put together something that has a nutritional value, then I understand why I would use it. If it can provide a bit of balance, then that's fine. Okay, I'll still get the 8, and I'll still have a little sheet to go in the freezer. I'm pretty sure I have tried it, Jane, and it works, but until these things are written down and put in a book, I don't remember it. All right. I'll go off that page. Otherwise, we'll end up the stream again.
What do you need?
I should go look at the football score. Oh, I'm only rolling past that. Right. So I'm a born and bred Manc, Dan. Yeah. And I've never lived as far down as London. All right. Hopefully that should give you a clue as to which side of the city I support. And I'm definitely not a glory hunter, because I was there when Sean Gota handled the ball over the line to get us out of their second division. All right, mate? He knows. He knows. Right. So that's the 8. I do love the fact that Sean Gota doesn't even deny it anymore either. None of us could believe that goal was ever given. Right, so this is the one that's going to go in the freezer. I would make sure it's trapped between the 2 pieces of paper and freeze it flat. So I will leave. And I'll leave it like that, exactly like that. Right, okay. Pesto. So we've done the bread that's in the freezer, wet and cooling down. We've done the gnocchi, which is and What?
You were trying to tell me earlier that you didn't have any cheese.
Pecorinos for the
Ah.
lamb. It's part of the ingredients for the lamb. Here's the difference between the version that I've done here, which is with the cognac flour, and the version that I did earlier with the xanthan gum. The xanthan gum one went quite slimy and sort of stuck together, and these haven't, and they're quite dry. We found this when we did the pasta on Friday. Me and Alan did two different versions. He did xanthan, I did cognac, and it was dry. So this is definitely the best version. These could be frozen now. This would be the perfect time because they can come straight out the freezer and straight into a sauce. Again, I've never been a gnocchi sort of person, so I've never really had a dish with it. But we'll do the pesto, and we'll just going to rinse this out. Come on, Dan, give me the score. Come on, Dan. Dan.
I find with Panda it's different in the way I never used to like mince pies, but when you make them, I do like them.
Yes, apparently the mince pies went down very well as well with Alan's mum.
Oh, good.
He sent me a message this morning.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they love the mince pies. Okay, so pesto is already a very clean recipe. So if you've got a standard recipe you want to follow, I know there's one in the KFC library. I've just pulled up one from Good Food, BBC Good Food, classic pesto, where they use pine nuts. I'm going to use sunflower seeds, which I roasted. Oh, that's not good news. So 50 grams. $50. 150 mils of olive oil. Me too, Carol. Me too. I'm about a quarter of the way through the book. And some you try a recipe out and you think you may have nailed it. You try it again, something goes wrong, you go, hang on a minute. Why is that different to the first time round? So I'm having to redo a couple of recipes just because there would have been something that I did that I forgot to do second time round. I don't know. 150 of olive oil. Which is all of that, almost. But we are getting there. I mean, the mince pie one is nailed. That's fine. Christmas cake is very, very close. But I want to do a couple of options. So there's an ultra low carb version. There's an ultra low carb version. And then there'll be a low carb version, so we can actually sort of, again, your choice whether you want to add a bit of things like dates in there to sort of add a bit more authenticity, but it'll also add more carbs. Basil, I don't know how much is actually in this pack. I think 30. So it's a little bit more in their recipe. Yeah, 30. But you can also top it up with some dried basil, which I'm going to blitz it down a little bit first, and then I'm going to add some dried. 2 cloves of garlic. Now I've actually got a couple of I've got one of the blocks, one of the garlic frozen blocks, which I defrosted. Makes it nice and easy. And then Parmesan. I brought a block home.
Yeah, it's behind you there.
It's behind you. Yes, you don't have to roast the seeds. No, you can just go straight from the packet. It does just knowing how they've worked in breads. They work a little bit better, or even in the biscuits, in like a cracker. they work a little bit better if they have been roasted, not even for long, because they're a little bit softer. They're a little bit more pine nut like, rather than being, they're quite hard otherwise. Almost biscuit like when you roast them. How much?
You're getting that first one.
No, don't need to grate it in the blitzer. 50 grams of parmesan. 50 grams of parmesan. I'm just going to cut it into little chunks. I mean, yes, you can use grated. However, these packets are really awful.
Original sauce.
I don't want to get into the packet of cheese. All right, plates. Smells amazing. Fresh basil and garlic. Absolutely. Smells amazing. I haven't seasoned it, and it definitely will need it. I'm just gonna have a little taste. Have a little taste. Whoa. Definitely salt. Do you think that needs more basil in it?
It could take it, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's quite cheesy.
I can't see the salt. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is quite cheesy. Yeah, it's quite heavy on the parmesan, isn't it? Yeah. Now we're going to add.
I know it's not for everyone's taste, but when I've only had one pack of basil when I've made this fresh, I've added just fresh spinach in there. Actually, I did pad it out from the leaf. It had the taste. Just...
Scales have suddenly decided to.
But it's still nice and fresh with the spinach as well.
Obviously.
Have they gone?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not even turning on. And it's one of those. There should be a packet of batteries.
Is it? Should be.
No, there'll be those little round ones. There's a packet of them in there. Ah.
Get those mini micro ones out.
Yeah.
You know which ones I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't get into the battery back. Anyway.
Come on. How deep are these?
BR2032.
Yes, they're all the same, yeah. Oh, come on, ounce. Okay. Let's see if this one works. Yeah. Okay. Right. Red pesto.
Is that sun-dried tomato?
I guess it probably is sun-dried tomatoes rather than basil. Yeah.
Oh, your carbs just going behind it.
It's just gone again. It came on when the battery went in. There's something wrong with it then.
Mm.
Hang on. It's back.
They're new, aren't they? So it's a relatively new battery.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, there's something wrong with it. It's not wanting to zero, and it's they've got haven't they? Right. Okay, you're gonna have to eyeball it. Now it's zeroed. All right. 10 grams. Seriously. Actually, no, 5. Again. Why is it that domestic scales don't work properly and don't last?
Mm.
What's the point in making something that literally only works for a few months? Okay. Seasoned, a little bit of extra. Electrician. I could do with the. I could. To be fair, Dan, I haven't got enough plug sockets in the kitchen left to put in a plugged-in scales. I've got 2 sets down at the bakery. Yeah, better. Yeah. On your way. Oh, mate, you'll be down here for a week repairing our electrics.
Yeah.
You would hate to see how I'm having to do all of this. Yeah. Got extension cables running from the garage to give us power into the kitchen. Okay, right. Let's clear a bit of space.
Taking them back to the bakery, Jane.
That's yeah. Took them back for the workshop, and then they haven't made it back here. So
I'm also voting for them back.
Yeah. Honestly, they might cost like 80 quid a set, but they I don't know why it keeps logging me out today. Yeah. Anyway, right, where are we going? Quick tidy up, and we'll quickly fry off the gnocchi. Add the pesto, so we've got a dish.
Custard?
Custard, we can make that. Oh, we can roll that now as well. Okay. Half hour, 45 minutes.
What's the guitar mix for?
We do for the custard.
Oh.
Yeah, for the bread and butter pudding.
Okay.
Let me just get a cloth. Let's do this. Yeah, you only need grams. You can work everything out in grams. Literally don't need anything else. Let me just have a quick taste of this. Nice amount of fennel. Definitely lacking on the salt. Okay, moving it. Look, you probably use a screwdriver to cut your bread, so you know. You see what I'm doing? Yeah, for now. Oh, I didn't remove this. Don't forget, folks, to remove your pasta from both sides of the paper. Yeah, I definitely didn't do it on this one because it's rolling round fine now. It is. Again, if you can give it just a little while, like it's obviously just been sat there resting for a few minutes, it does firm up even more. So, I mean, you can sort of see there, it's sort of holding up quite nicely. So let me just make sure I've done, yeah.
It's really authentic with the pumpkin.
Yeah, it does look very authentic with pumpkin, yeah, you're right. So it's certainly not flimsy when it's in this state, yeah? So this is without the xanthan gum as well. So this makes for perfect lasagna sheets. I need to stir your tea. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. See? I just use my finger. What's wrong with you, mate? Come on. I'm trying to make sure I get the right sort of dish to go into there. What's that white one, mate? Let's go in. That's too small.
The square one.
Yeah. We'll just check. That's the glass one. I think that's a bit too. Oh no, glass one goes in. Right, that's a better option. Okay, that's better. Let's do it that way. Let's do it that way because we've got two portions, so this each half will be a portion. That's better. It's a better fitting dish. Talking of tea, it might be tea time. Who's got a party trick or a song they can give us while I go and make a cuppa? Yeah, didn't check that one either. Come on, roll over. There we go.
Am I right in thinking it was Jack who inspired you to do this dish? When you made pasta, I'm pretty sure.
This dish?
The sort of lamb ragu type.
No, that would have been John.
Oh.
John Zani.
Oh, okay.
It was John that sort of got us back into doing egg pasta.
Okay.
He was the one that sort of made it look really pretty, and I was like,
yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, it's John. Right, I have to re-roll that one. It's stuck to the paper.
Hang on a minute, Karen. Why did you buy that teapot then?
You don't drink tea?
Why did you buy that teapot? I can do that.
I need an extension on the kitchen table as well.
An extension?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I always run out of space.
Oh.
Why? That's
For coffee.
just To be fair, we've got a cafetiere that gets used for tea more than it ever does for coffee. So. Okay. Perfect. Right. So this recipe, the lamb ragu with the fennel, if you don't want to use lamb, because I know some people don't like it, then do use the turkey mince, the dark turkey mince. It will work pretty much just as well. Yeah, and then same nice deep flavour. It will take to the fennel better than the beef will. Okay. All right, nicely done. Now I should have saved some of the tomato sauce separately.
Pour the rest later.
Well, I was going to pour the whole thing. I mean, I can do, and yes, but that's a very big dish. Then I should have, because I used all the lamb, and I probably shouldn't have used all the lamb. I should have used like 400 grams of the lamb to the dish. Yeah, we'll probably end up. Yeah, well, I've got the goat's cheese to put on top of it as well, and then we're going to cover it and bake it. And actually, I can bake this while we'll chicken work. Get the turkey mince.
We can't go out yet, it's not raining.
Yeah. Go. There'll be leftovers. For some of us, anyway. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's giving it some Zeds at the moment. She's dreaming of free-range chicken. So this can go straight in the oven because it won't take long. So it's definitely not especially with using lamb, and these are big portions. You're probably looking at you could even get 3, maybe even 4 portions out of this tray. This isn't for the faint-hearted. This is going to be quite rich. Stay there. However, beautiful. We haven't got any foil, have we? So.
Oh, yeah, okay. Got some in the second row.
What? Small one? Oh, you got some, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes. I remember I took the big one over there. We're going to keep the moisture in because we don't want the pasta to dry out. I'm just going to pop that in the oven. It'll take no more than 25 minutes, which is good timing for everything else. I am getting rid of all that now. All right, we're just going to do a quick pesto gnocchi dish.
would be nice with chicken.
Yeah, so just serve them alongside the standard pan fried chicken breast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of pan fried chicken. You could sort of fry it at the same time as you fry the gnocchi, and then take it out, or mix it all in. You could do the chicken in with the gnocchi. Oh. I'll put the kettle on. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Right, that's on. Okay. So again, you can sort of see I've got some oil in here. So he's going to give him a bit of a browning. Oh, colours now. They start to go nice and golden, like you would with a potato. That's interesting. That's interesting. Right, so I don't need the sound finger anymore.
Jane wants to put it.
Yes, that's it. Thank you. Oh wow! How they're looking in there. They're perfect. This is the first time we've fried them, so we only ever got to the point of making them and tasting them from that boiled state. So the first time. I'll be honest, having never had gnocchi before, that's made me want to have gnocchi. That looks fantastic. Spoon of pesto, quick fried. I mean, it doesn't really need cooking. We're gonna have a taste. I'm really impressed by the way they look. Nice and golden. Oh, wow. Okay, you've had gnocchi before. Tell me what you think to that. Yeah. That's really good. That's really, really good. Coco's not impressed with the pine nut, the basil and garlic. Well, that is that. It's exactly what I would expect from a gnocchi.
I much prefer that level of contact to the one after.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wowzers. That's properly good. Yeah. Okay.
Gnocchi next week then?
We'll save that for the save that for the photo. Lamb's in, that's in. A little chocolate. Again, it's an in-between, isn't it? It's in between a cake and a bread. So it's cooked beautifully well inside. Smells chocolatey enough.
This is people donating.
Oh, right, okay. Okay. Not as sweet as the cake, as you'd expect, because I didn't put anywhere near this level of sweetness. Can you go over the ingredients for the chocolate bread? Yeah. So it's using the base to the cheese mite bread. So I used 2 eggs. I used, hang on, let me find it. So I halved the recipe. 2 eggs, 75 grams of natural yogurt, 50 grams of butter. In the book, it's olive oil. You can use either. I just thought I'd try butter to see if there was any difference. No discernible difference. 40 grams of Panda, 5 grams of bicarbs, and then for the chocolate side of it, there was 25 grams of sweetener. Probably could have done with a little bit more, but we're going to make a custard. So it doesn't matter that that's not overly sweet, because the custard's going to be sweet as well. So 25 grams of sweetener, 10 grams of cocoa powder. Maybe you could have added a little bit of the vanilla extract in there as well. Maybe that would help with the depth of flavor. But it's fine. It's good knowing that we're going to do what we're going to do with it, which is make it into bread and butter pudding. So let's. I think the thing with this recipe is that the biggest difference between a cake and this sweet loaf is the way the crust feels. This is it's got a much drier exterior. It's a thicker crust that you would probably expect more from a bread rather than the cake. It's quite an egg heavy recipe, which is obviously predominantly cake. Yeah. There you go. That's okay. That's okay. I say it's not light and fluffy like a cake would be. Ever know that? Sure. Not sweet enough. Not dark enough either, actually. Because it's got enough chocolate in it to taste the chocolate, but it's not a rich chocolate flavor.
Still chocolate.
Still chocolate, yeah. Still chocolate. All right. Hang on. Ready, Sharon? 2 eggs. 75 grams yogurt. 50 grams of butter. Melted. Let's add in 5 mils of vanilla, yeah? Or 5 grams of vanilla. Then the flours, 40 grams of Panda. 10 grams of cocoa. 5 grams of bicarbs. No, the oil's in this butter.
Oh, yeah, you just put in.
Eggs, yogurt, butter, vanilla, Panda, cocoa, bicarbs. You could put chocolate chips in as well, but I'm going to do that in this next bit. So this, Sharon, is the cake bread recipe. Yeah, that's the. I mean, I'll write it up later, but this is the cake bread recipe. Sweetener. I knew I was missing something. Thank you, Bridget. 25 grams of sweetener. I knew there was another dry ingredient. Right. Let's make custard. I need to do this without losing you all again. This makes quite a lot. This makes 600 mils. Yeah, it's fine. It's not fine when it uses 300 mils of double cream, and then we're going to make another 250 mils of milk. So we're going to make. So how many eggs is in that? That's 3 whole large eggs and an egg yolk.
They're beastly size eggs, though.
We'll go. We're gonna have to make. We're gonna have to make it minimum 2. We'll scrap the extra egg yolk. We'll just go with 2. We'll go with half. So we need 300 mils of yogurt in total. You all right? What do you say then? I thought I suggested something then.
No, I just did what you did earlier. I picked an egg up and just crushed it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Exactly the same.
All right, so we're going to warm through. If I'm aiming at 300 mils of milk, then I want. Why does the colour keep disappearing? It looks like I'm in a tunnel. I'm about to get my big screwdriver, big knife out again. Honestly. Go again.
You could use your measuring glass thing.
Yeah, I might have to actually. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll use this. Yeah. Can you just go? Ella, can you go and see Coco, please?
I can see it. She's like.
No, she's just busy.
Bring boxes.
Yeah, she's. Just bring her in. All right. 75. So using the jug. 75 double cream.
You mentioned yogurt.
Yogurt for what? No. Yogurt's not part of this. Up to 300 with the water. So it's one quarter cream, 3/4 water. Yogurt was in the bread, not in this. Yeah. Right. So we're just going to warm this through.
Yeah. Here's your chops. Yes.
Found it. There's like one spot that pan works at.
I used it earlier.
Right. Okay. Okay. Eggs, vanilla. We're going to whisk the eggs, the vanilla, and the sweetener together, and then we're going to add the cream to it. There is a vanilla pod there. Yes, I know. So,
a little bit out of date, but it does work.
well, again, I'm going to have to guesstimate because no scales. So, what we're looking at? 2 teaspoons. They use a couple of different sugars in there. So 2 teaspoons of demerara. I suppose I could use spoons. And 3. So they're using 5 tablespoons worth of different sugars. Okay. I separated. I moved them. Yesterday.
What did you move yesterday? Oh.
So they were all together, but then I forgot where I put them. So we'll go with 2.5 tablespoons of sweetener.
Oh, we've got extra ones in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a tablespoon.
I didn't even realise how used to know.
Yeah. 2 eggs. And obviously we're going to add orange extract to this as well. Quite meaty eggs, actually. So again, special ingredients, not sponsored, no affiliate links, whatever. You can just about see the label there. Special ingredients. These are clean oils. So you'll get the oils in lemon, mint, orange, something else. I can't remember now. You don't use much. You literally don't use much. Yes, they're 6-7 pounds a bottle, but you just use the few drops. You get a whisk. We weren't able to get to. Are you adding any vanilla? I will, because Zemma said she found. So did it go in here? Found that yesterday in a box of spices and herbs. A vanilla pod bought from Asda in the late 1900s, apparently. What was the use by date on it? Oh, it's on there, isn't it? There is a best before date.
Something about the year Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, I said to her, she's had this for as long as I've had Louis. Were there more than one, or has it always been? So it's never been opened.
Just one, yeah.
It's just the one.
I remember it.
I mean, it's probably as I say, it probably cost £6 then. But it's probably about like £100 these days. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get into it. I wonder if it's completely dried out. We'll see. Hey, and look, you know, we're like,
right.
I'm just not sure.
20 years out of date.
It is.
I never got around to
It's completely dried out. No, no. Oh, hang on. I might have just.
Oh dear. I think it's coming handy one day.
I mean, to be honest, it's still got all the scent there. It's just a bit tough to get through. Yeah. And it's still quite oily inside. How amazing is that?
Vintage.
Yeah. Wow. God, it is as well. Oh, wow. We have got
all right.
like vintage vanilla seed here. Wow. The actual stem is completely dried out, but weirdly enough, the inside is still quite oily. If we don't see you tomorrow, it means that we all tried the bread and butter pudding, yeah? Okay, the milk is warm. I was about to say actually, the as much as these are free-range eggs, got from the cash and carry, the color of the yolk is awful. It is so pale. Nothing. We weren't able to get to the farmers market this month. We were away at the event. It's just, it looks so pale. I mean, it smells great. I won't deny that orange oil in there does smell great, but I think I'm gonna have to go with a bit more egg yolk in there because that is pale and come on, find the spot.
Apparently it's frozen again.
Frozen?
Yeah.
I'm still live here.
Oh, it's just frozen again.
All right.
Are we back?
No. Okay. I think this will be a mild interruption.
It goes when you've made a mistake.
Yeah. Make a mistake? How dare you? Right, we're definitely going to go in with one more egg yolk into that because it's just weak and thin.
Orange zest.
Orange zest? Yeah, orange zest would be good. If I had some.
I'm sorry, there's 2 egg yolks in the fridge. It's a bit late.
Is there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm just. If it doesn't set with.
Just use egg whites for the over.
Right, okay. If it doesn't set with this, then I'll use them. Well. We've already got 2 minutes left on that as well now, so it looks like we'll be able to come to an end almost on time. And then begins the 2-hour cleanup. Get a spoon, a little taste of this. Oh, that is orangey. That's beautiful. And it's sweet enough. just waiting to get it to the sort of boiling point.
Mhm.
What are you going to do?
Good boy. In a minute.
No. Archie's stretching. He knows it's nearly time for dog walk. Right, here we go. So that's just coming up to the boil. I just want to see whether that's going to. Oh, it is thickening. It didn't look it under the whisk, but it is. I'd go one more egg yolk in that, I think. All right.
Top shelf.
Okay. That's two in there.
Mhm.
Just looks anemic. Okay, it's a little bit silkier now. It's a little bit silkier. Okay. I mean, it is nice to see the sort of fresh 20-year-old vanilla pod in there. It's nice to see that that's flex in there. Okay, all right, that's fine. Quite a rich flavour. Yeah, no, it doesn't need any more egg in that. That's going to set nicely around the bread. Yeah. I was going to use those little white trays, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm. I've already got one out for you.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Where did it go?
You put the
Buried
cooking
back
bowl
there.
on top of it.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose there is butter in the bread, but it's not bread and butter pudding unless you butter the bread. Yeah, we'll get that in a minute. And we are also going to use some cacao nibs in with the custard. I think we'll eat tonight and then just not bother eating until Wednesday if we're going to be having
This is probably the only chance we do have to.
lamb ragu followed by bread and butter pudding.
A little bit of each.
Yeah, I think that is 3 to 4 portions there now with all of that meat.
After seeing the bread and butter pudding, I agree.
Can I go that way? No, we'll just carry on going that way. There's also extra custard, definitely. So we're not going to use all of that custard in here. No way. Right. And just for Sue, okay, just because I got nagged at last time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. I should have buttered them first. So cut them into little triangles because we're going to overlay them on the top. Yes, it was only Sue that complained that I didn't put triangles on top.
If we only have 2 layers, it means you get more custard in
No, I want it. Well, then what am I going to do with this layer?
there. Oh, yeah.
It would either need to be a deeper dish,
Mm.
in which case so we can cover it.
How about the grey one that you made the first time around?
It's a bit. I suppose we're then looking at going that way around. And then these are just going to be on the top, but that's only 2 layers then.
Is that piece there, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I suppose.
That's fun.
Okay. All right. It just means more custard can go in. we
That's bad.
weren't going to have enough room for custard. Honestly, it's like I'm a performing monkey half the time.
There we go.
Okay. Final piece. It's just like a farm in here at the moment. It's just awful. The amount of noises and smells.
I don't think they can hear it.
Okay. It's silky. It's like a
You put it yourself.
yeah, I know. So it's nice and silky. This for a pouring custard, you'd probably go a little bit thicker. You'd probably go another egg yolk in there. But for this, we're just gonna. They'll probably end up using all of this custard now. I mean, this is a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, but the last one was quite dry. Wasn't
The
it?
last one was quite dry, yeah.
You can hear me. I can hear. We can hear you, Karen.
Oh, what's Karen? I can't.
Karen's talking to the TV like we can hear her. So we can hear
Yeah, it's. I mean, all right. That was the perfect amount of custard to go in there. I'll take it back. We'll take it back.
What can I say?
Yeah. Okay. And then yes, to finish off,
Mm.
all right. So that's the cacao nibs. So beautiful. I'm going to put that in the oven. Let's do a swapsy. Absolutely. What?
What?
I'm just looking around the kitchen going, what on earth? I really do need to start doing this down at the bakery because at least I've got so much more working space.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long? I mean, till the custard sets, 180. It says 35, 40 minutes. Okay, that'd work. 180. 35 minutes. I just found it squeak a toy. Hi. Not just yet. Still live. That's him telling me it's time to go. Yeah, time to go. Right. So obviously we baked this for about what was it?
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay. So the pasta, the only thing we're concerned about there is the pasta being cooked because it's got egg in it. I can feel it's still sort of soft-ish. Yeah, it was something like that anyway, 35 minutes. I like to try and just portion one up. I'm just going to separate these two. Yeah. There you go. We'll just get a plate for them. Come on. She's looking a bit sad for herself at the moment. Yeah. Lamb ragu with pumpkin egg pasta, topped with goat cheese. Choose whatever cheese you prefer. We've obviously made the gnocchi as well, which has sort of surprised me as to how well that's worked. And I'll definitely be doing that. We'll do that as a dinner at some point soon. Bread and butter pudding, which, you know, we'll post about later when we slice into it. Thank you very much. Don't forget, Monkey Boy might not be here next week. It's might be puppy o'clock. If I can, in the future weeks, I'll do it down at the bakery while we've got the puppies sort of making probably commotion and noise. If you want to come to the sessions, the one-to-ones or the group sessions, then find the details on the website. Certainly with the one-to-ones, they're all there's time slots in there, but if something doesn't work for you, then please message me and I'll see what I can do. Otherwise, see you during the week doing something. See you later. Thank you, Carol.